Hey everybody, welcome to the EverQuest II Rage of Cthurath live stream. Everybody's here. We're going to introduce ourselves and then we're going to show you some really cool stuff. So starting with Tim.
Me, Tim Heidelar, art director on EQ2. You guys might know me on the forums as Halmaro.
Yeah, Kyle Valee, creative director. I'm Candor.
I'm Nathan McCall, lead content designer, and you'll know me as Kate Thiel.
I am Chris Garlick, senior game designer. I do dungeons.
Kroll.
Kroll on the phone.
I'm Carlos Mora, ninja on the forums, and I do mostly raids.
The G gets silent.
And I'm Robert Fouts, lead systems designer and Keith on the forums. I do systems.
Alrighty, is that everybody? Yeah, cool. All right, we're gonna start out and we're gonna talk about some lore and show off some stuff.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Just a little bit here, we started a while ago leading into this story with the last game update, in which you saw the Void start to really kind of push back again and push into Norath, I should say. And they got an opportunity and they saw it, they came through. So we're picking up a little bit off of that, where this Prelude event had you go ahead and there was portals opening up, the rifts opening up, all sorts of overlands. It started here in Antonica. And nobody knows why, so they're starting to do some investigations. And you end up fighting Void as they are also now opening up rifts to get to Norath. So here is where then the expansion begins, is right here where the Prelude also began. And this is in Antonica. So Lady Najana is here, and she is trying to stabilize this portal and stop things from coming through at the same time. But she knows that she wants to get you to the other side of it. And that's where things start to go a little wrong. You step in there and because you don't know what to expect. But you get in there and you find yourself in Garyon. Now this is just a little bit of a zone where you're exploring and you're trying to figure out, okay, what's going on in here. And it is called the Garyon Hold of Delir. But after that, things go completely unplanned, and you get to see all sorts of new realms. You get pulled to the Void.
Nice segue. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
But this is building off of you'll find all sorts of threads that we are trying to weave together in this one. So there's all sorts of different story arcs that will get you to this point that you'll find obvious connections with, such as the last expansion when Lucan Delir got a magical item, magical artifact from the Dragon Necropolis. And so there's that one. There's all of that with the Void that happened in earlier expansions, even with launch. So you're going to get a lot more of that thread picking up, but also reaffirming of those stories. Like those are being acknowledged completely. So here you are in Yon'Garath, and this is brand new. There's no way that you as a citizen of Norath would have known that this even existed. And you come in and you have to figure out, or get told actually, what it is that brought you here. This was not planned. And so how are you here? Why are you here? But clearly it's related to what's going on Norath. So continuing to progress through this zone. You're meeting this group. These are the Deru, and they are goatmen that are trying to survive here in Yon'Garath. They are trying their best to hide from, there's a group that are going after them, the Agothal Dominion. And the Agothal Dominion are evil eyes and gazers, and they're going after anybody that is here they will find, they think that they are theirs to command, theirs to do. Everybody's below them, so they're going to do what they will. Here is where the Deru have tried to hide and stay safe. So here, Tim, you guys got some really cool ideas on this zone.
Well, it's your document that kicked it off. So basically you start, I'm going to use artist terms, the Goatman Village. And you basically start in here. And, we wanted to set up the scene, kind of give you something to throw you for a loop in terms of what to expect the Void is or isn't. We visited parts of the Void a long time ago, and we wanted to make sure we kind of didn't rehash that. And working with design, we were able to basically come to the conclusion that we could come up with anything, but it had to be something that we knew you wanted to spend time in, wasn't super off-putting. You were going to adventure for, at least a year, so you want to make sure that it's also every time you visit, you might find something new. So taking what Nathan basically put into the original document for Yongaroth, and the different areas like right here, we call it the Spider Forest, but I believe it's somewhat of a farmland. So when we're coming up with our initial ideas for, what does a farmland in the Void look like? So most people think of like tillage rows or, plants being, kind of placed appropriately. We wanted to give it kind of a weirder feel, but not like super off-putting.
Not alien.
Not alien, yeah. Some parts of it needed to be grounded just so there's a bit of familiarity. And at the same time, Nathan had this really cool idea of something in the middle of the zone that kind of anchored a lot of the zone. And we never really talk about what it is, but we kind of want you to try and figure out if it's something at all. And it's mostly this guy, and then this big looming structure, and maybe towards the end of the zone, I'll go to a spot up there. But basically, as you make your way out, we want to send you on different paths. There's a way over here as well, where you get a little bit of a taste of things to come, kind of out over there. Can't quite get there yet. And then basically start the journey into what is the Void now, or how do we see it
In this
year?
region.
Well, this is a
Exactly.
different region of the Void. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I wanted to say is when we were planning this, we weren't going to the regions that you've already been to. We're going to a
Correct.
totally new place within the Void.
Completely separate from Shadow Odyssey.
Yeah, we wanted to make it look quite a bit different too. There was a lot of pros and cons to how we did the Void back then. There are some influences of that here,
Absolutely.
and you'll see them, but we wanted to make sure that we reinvented it because we had a lot of ideas to show off and places to go. This is just another area. We call it the Pink Lakes.
That's what you guys called it?
And then this area, turned out it was kind of a smaller POI, but then once we got in there, we just couldn't stop adding stuff. And it grew into this multi-layered, we call it the Groth Ruins. I'm sure it has a fancier name.
Ryther ruins. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And then try to visually tell some story, like how did it get fractured? How is it all busted up? Pieces are floating. What kind of magic's going on here? With the spindly crystals and everything coming up out of it. And then, of course, the area below, which used to be,
Love this.
it was originally supposed to be, I think, just death, like if
Yeah.
you fell. But
Mhm.
we didn't think that'd feel right, so we decided to come up with kind of this under canopy. And speaking of something
Love that.
you'll see a lot in this expansion is we really tried to layer play spaces a lot so that there's just a lot of shelves and overhangs and places to explore. First, on foot, and then when you come back and fly.
There's a lot more play space than when you look at it just from the top down because of that layering.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's deceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got tired of me asking for fly-only areas, so they made everything a fly-only area.
Well, it's nice to be able to come back to a zone and kind of get a plate again towards
And
the
find new
end.
things.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we call this the jungle. Again, probably has a cooler name, but again, we layered it with a bunch of huts that you get to go into later, and I don't know, just tried to make it. There's bits of familiarity, the plants and stuff like that. They're not so alien that you don't understand that they're plants, but there is always just kind of a creepy vibe. A bit of veining and like, what is this in the background, and what is this massive structure over here, and that kind of anchored this whole zone for us. Is basically, if this is your intro, how do we set the stage for the other zones to come? And I think a lot of the misconception with the voids that had to be dark and evil and just gross and everything else, and we wanted to make sure that we stayed away from that. Not entirely, but
There's some gross.
there's some gross. It's coming up.
Oh, definitely.
But that it's a place you want to be in for a good chunk. And just because I have them on stream, I'm still waiting for the shiny, right there, right there, please.
Nice.
But that's basically Yongaroth as a whole. So we go from here to
Yeah, so that whole conflict with the Daru and the Ogothel Dominion then leads you to the Ogothel zone itself. So this is the Ogothel Sprawl, and you'll land here using one of those void spires there, those void obelisks.
Those are so awesome.
Yeah,
really
they
cool.
turned out great. And so you get here.
This is the bright and happy zone?
Sure, yeah,
Not-
let's
not
say
yet.
that.
Not yet.
And it is full of oppression. So yes, of course, it is the bright and happy zone. Yeah, the Ogothel
words.
demands. So the Ogothel Dominion, they are, like I said, evil eyes and gazers. Well, the thing about gazers specifically in the void, like their longevity is nearly eternal. And they have gotten bored, but they've also started exploring ways of entertaining themselves, and it often comes out as torture and experimentation of other beings, and even creation of other beings. So you'll start seeing some of that oppression, some of that amoral experimentation that is going to be going on. And seeing some of the side effects of that and some of their creations when you get to a few of the dungeons, especially. This area is really cool. Whereas the last Overland had kind of a theme of decay, I see this one as living. Like even the land itself, you can see is
It's almost breathing.
Yeah, yeah.
This was actually the first zone that we started on development-wise, and one of the first ideas we had was this idea of something underneath the zone, something that wasn't really revealed but kind of made you feel maybe a little uneasy, but kind of alluded to more. So we kind of came up with, we call them, basically worm snakes, and what if that was integrated into the zone's design? It's the ridge of mountains and other things, and you just see this slowly creeping skin underneath, and you're not sure if you should touch it or not. But with these tentacle pads popping up all over the place, and that kind of gave us how far do we want to push it into the darker side of the void, without going overtly like grotesque or anything like that. How can we still make it approachable but fun to look at, we'll say. And again, touching back on layering, because the gazers, one of the things that the design crew really, really wanted was to emphasize, the flight of the gazers and their verticality. So we took that probably further than we ever have and made a lot of additional play space vertically that keeps going up and up and up, because most of these guys fly. So to them, traversal is a non-issue. But it was a lot of fun to kind of place all this stuff and get it feeling all connected.
And all the eyeballs.
And tons of eyeballs everywhere. Everywhere. And they're always watching you. And then something else I should have touched on in the last zone is typically, a lot of our zones have horizons that kind of go out into like an infinite ocean or Maybe they're contained by mountains. But here we wanted to try and experiment with like different domes, and again, playing off this theme of snakes and what could be out there. We took some time to kind of explore our horizons differently this time, and put a lot of the zone elements further out there to allude to like what is going on below these. If you look at each of the zones, there's always something that kind of says, what's going on.
There's something going on in the distance.
Exactly.
There's more.
And you're always being watched. But to contrast the darker side that we just saw, we wanted those moments of relief where you kind of see something a little more familiar, but our take on it. What would the void take be? And I call this the Coral Forest. I'm sure it has a fancier name.
That's what it's
Oh,
called.
that's perfect. And again, with the layering, all these little spots are all for Kyle and his flying content. But a lot of them you can get to naturally, climb around, and explore. So we had a lot of
The
fun.
hot
building
hoppers
these.
come in handy.
Yeah.
And the gazer bridges that look like Marble Madness shoots. And then some disconnected areas, again, for the gazers. And then fingernail forest, as we lovingly call it.
It's disgusting.
Ew.
too.
That's pretty gross.
That is not what it's called.
Well,
Toenail.
Toenail forest.
Well, that's even worse.
This is not the
Sorry.
plane of disease.
Right.
But again, another a gazer hangout, and then just a forest that kind of zigzags in all the way over here, comes to a gazer rise. But again, just moments of relief where the plants come in heavier.
In all the design docs, we wanted everything to be colorful. We wanted it to feel, a certain way, but like colorful was what basically what we kept, and I feel like it was delivered tenfold.
Yeah, we did not want to just make it depressing and full
Yeah.
of reds and everything is angry, because no one wants to play that.
You can
Not-
play
no,
for a little while.
No brown,
Yeah.
Freeport brown.
Just
Oh,
fingernails.
Just fingernails. and worm snakes, yes. But that's where we ended up with the sprawl. It really kind of set the tone for how far we could push it. Still make it approachable. You notice the ground is, just this kind of almost skin-like weave between all these forms that go out into the ocean. And then the way we fed it off into the play spaces. But
You
this was really
introduced
cool.
some of the void architecture too.
Oh yeah, should touch on that. And we also approached architecture differently here, because when you think about the void, we weren't sure, aside from the void and Shadow Odyssey, is what does it look like? Does it resemble homes or structures you go into? And we decided ultimately, like, no, it wouldn't be like that. It'd almost be like if it was geomancied or created, or it has to be this random feel, because everything is very random.
Magically hewn.
Yeah, like it's there, but it still makes you kind of question it a little bit. So we came up with a kit, and this is a courtesy of Nick and another one of our artists, Ben Palomo, who did fantastic on this, and came up with a series of shapes, and each zone is defined a little bit differently through their shapes, so that we could anchor population, but give us the flexibility to again layer play spaces as vertically as we wanted and design demanded. But it worked out really well.
Demanded.
Demanded. I think they threatened me.
We demanded color.
But that's the sprawl in a nutshell. There's
Yeah.
many more nooks and crannies to be seen.
Well, and off of this is a few dungeons that we'll touch on here just in a little bit. But the signature line gets you through that first zone, right? The Yongroth, and then through here. And then at this point, you've reached a goal that you had within the signature line, and thankfully. And so then you'll be able to move on, and you go then at that point back to Garion Hold of Delir, but not before you get a little. Oh no! After that, just after that, you get a little taste of this zone, and you just step into it, and at which point, the signature line is complete, but you can now explore all of this zone, and you've got a heck ton more of quests to go through here. You've got all of the other drop quests and writs and that kind of stuff still available for you even after the signature line.
It's almost like a reward of exploration after you finish the quest. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so we get you into here, and this again,
I love the backpack.
another part of the of this area of the void, and it's still very much part of the same story. Though you now know another goal that you need to reach, so you are coming here to get this done. But it's again aside from the signature line or post the signature line, so you can come into here and start exploring this zone and really see the unknown. And we've always known that the Lamia and the Nightbloods came from unknown regions. Well, that's exactly where this is. This is that unknown region where they have come from the void. And so now you get to actually see what they are doing and some of the reasons for what it is that they've always been doing and why they've been coming to Norath, and under what faith it is that's actually pushing them, driving them, their zealotry for Cthurath.
I think you guys just called it the unknown because you ran out of creative names.
We weren't supposed to tell people that.
So you end up entering this zone and working with Carlos. You start on a lower level, but you may not necessarily kind of get that vibe. So we wanted to carry forward from the sprawl visually a bit, a bit more on the darker side. Just
a little bit of familiarity, but
yeah,
not much. Yeah.
and kind of pull a 180 on you as you work your way up and out of this lower area. Again, I stress that we put a lot of effort into this kind of layering. So you work your way up, and all of a sudden, it's a lot brighter. I wouldn't use the term happy, but it is happier. Not
Happy
as
little
dark.
trees.
Exactly. After the sprawl, you're ready for some relief. And so you end up here in the unknown and begin your journey throughout this zone. And just as
big zone.
it's a big zone.
It's really big.
Again, since I get to cheat a lot of layering, you can see there's basically a whole play space there and above there, little pockets that just kind of.
I love the exploring in this zone.
Yeah, that's. I think that layering really gave us an opportunity to make exploration a lot more fun. And then you kind of come out and you see this all purposely done. With between Carlos and I, this Night Scar prison.
Yes.
So it's way off there in the distance. Basically saying, "Come explore me," but you can't quite get there yet, as far as I'm aware. And then you see more off into the distance. So to quickly, we'll go over here first. And this is where.
I don't recommend swimming this.
Oh yeah, don't swim anywhere.
And this isn't even the first section that you go. So you'll drop in at the where we started, and this is where you want to go.
Yeah.
This is your end goal when you first get into the zone. But you've got to do some work to get here.
And this is where Nightblood breeding ground.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're basically created in these kind of pools, and this was this is where we really kind of defined what we call it the Void Kit, the architecture of the Void could be, and the different shapes it would take, and how these various creatures aren't interested in creating something lovely to be in. It's got kind of a really brutalist kind of like feel to it. It's I don't know, it works. Let's put it that way. And then you basically swing around.
You'll also notice that the Nightbloods and the Lamia are new models.
Mm-hmm.
The Nightbloods are awesome.
We really wanted to redo those and bring them into the future. So we spent a lot of time with concept art and stuff with Dave Brown going through, and they came out super cool. There's actually multiple levels of the Nightbloods, but in this area you only get to see one.
Got to save something. And touching back on the horizon again, it's a different type of horizon. Maybe there's layered oceans. Maybe the oceans aren't round. Maybe they have an uneven edge. Who knows what's out there? We don't know. Well, we know, but you guys don't. And then, finishing off in an area and kind of seeing your next area, and always trying to give you guys in each of the zones has something that's kind of what the heck is that? and ultimately make your way to the last island.
Except you're doing it out of order.
Ah.
This isn't the last island.
This
Yeah.
is the second one.
This
is the second
We're
one,
good.
yeah.
We're good.
He doesn't want to spoil the order.
Ooh.
That's such a nice little oasis,
Yeah.
and it's not like literally. It's not an oasis. Like it's a bad spot, but visually, it pops. It's such a difference.
Is
Very
it
cool
called the
looking.
Unknown Oasis?
Well, that's the known oasis. And you basically make your way around again, and then ultimately you end up at the Rise. And again, this zone started like the layering of it and the position of everything kind of worked out in a weird way that gave Carlos and I a lot of ideas on how to play stuff. Like you see the Void Sun just happen to end up on the
layering of the horizons.
yeah,
and, stuff,
and
yeah.
where the penultimate point of the zone was, and it all kind of said, hey, let's make this journey up to this top, so you get this kind of grand
Big
reveal at the
reveal.
end, and, you know, again, alluding to more, you know, is this, you know, this kind of toothy look, like what's out there, what are these spores, stuff like that. But a few things I wanted to note, particularly in the overland zones, is we put a lot of time and thought into kind of like what the flora would be, and the main artist responsible, Ben Palomo, did a fantastic job coming up with like all these variants of trees and plants and, you know, like Venus flytrap looking oddities, and it gave us an opportunity, particularly you see it in the other zones, and I'm pointing at the screens if you guys can see it. Over there where there's lots of plant life, and even the, you know, weird barnacle things, and it's just like we needed all of that to kind of sell the idea of what the void could be, and it gave us an opportunity to really kind of push the overlands in a direction that, again, you know, speaks to what the void is, but doesn't crutch on what the void was before. Like it doesn't feel completely disjointed.
No, it doesn't conflict with any of that. None of the lore conflicts with it. We've really wanted to honor all of that and yet still present new story and give you even more of sense of like, oh gosh, this place is bad on many a level. Not just because you know what had happened in Shadow Odyssey, or the fact that, you know, Tyr had been trapped there along with Anashti Sul, but now here's this whole other layer of what's going on within the void.
Yeah, and all the population that's moving and making the world feel alive and not just standing there is Peter Chang. He's our populator, and he puts amazing amounts of time and effort into this stuff, and
His eye for
Yeah, he's
detail.
fantastic.
he tries to make sure that it all looks good. He's one of those people that loves feedback.
And a good eye for ecology, like
Yeah.
all
Yes.
those little flavor things.
He makes
Uh,
everything come alive.
It does.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes a difference. Absolutely. And helps to tell these stories. Because a story can be just words, but if the visuals and what you're doing in the world doesn't support it, it'll feel disjointed completely. And so all of that comes together to tell these stories. So from here, you want to jump into some of the dungeons? then?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
What do you want to have? Garion or?
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, let's do Garion. So earlier I spoke about how you'd get to Garion right before you start exploring the unknown, and here you are. So you'll get into Garion, Hold of Delir, and yes, this is the Overlord. Yes, the Overlord of Freeport, and so he has ascended. He used the runic claw that he got from the dragon necropolis. And
How do you pronounce the name?
you mean of the dragon that he got the claw from?
Ovaxazoviak.
Yeah, there you go.
Vaxazoviak.
I say it every night before I go to bed.
I emphasize the "ol" just to get it right.
Me too. I still get it wrong.
Sounds like something you get prescribed.
It does.
It's got a lot of side effects, and one of those side effects is that the realm of which that you are going to ascend to doesn't come out quite right. As you see, like you start going through this, and you will see the void
Influence.
influence.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to cheat a little here. So
Can
this is
you? No.
Yeah. So this isn't populated. This is just the hub. Wanted to save some of the awesome population for other people to show. But I did want to show off basically the zone in its base form.
And talk about some of the influences.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I'll start with kind of letting you guys see it as a whole. Now, if you remember Lucan's Citadel in Freeport, super iconic, and it went through a transformation when Freeport was rebuilt. But we wanted to bring back some of the things that really kind of were memorable from the original Freeport, like the red tether lines that kept it aloft. The spinning bottoms were definitely iconic, that very spear, four-sided spear shape, as well as just the profile as a whole. And a couple things that we kind of worked in, it's kind of some iconography of Lucan's helm up there, and of course this was from when Freeport was rebuilt. It was he had these totems everywhere and pillars that really basically constantly stressed that he was the overlord of Freeport. His face was everywhere. And something that I thought was really cool that design wanted to have in the zone and was against the lore, and you'll even see in the speech that comes back, which I thought was really cool, is he brought some mementos from Freeport, some of these classic fountains and other kind of works that probably, the way we discussed it was it reminds him of his past in Freeport. So we thought it was a cool way to kind of bring back some of that older stuff. And
he wasn't feeling the oppression enough, so he brought in more from Freeport.
So this is one of the wings.
This is actually where the first raid takes place.
There's cool stuff in there too. And then touching back on what he brought forward from Freeport, obviously the Executioner's Pit was iconic. So we wanted to bring that back in our own way and basically kind of make it the core, the
Fun
center.
size, giant size.
Exactly. So the whole center is basically an extra large Executioner's Pit.
If you jump in there, do you die and end up in common lands?
No, I think... oh, we should have done that.
We still can.
And then quick overview of another wing,
Yeah, this one's really cool.
kind of the prison, bunch of cages. There's Norath in the background. Again, having some fun with the sky domes. You'll see a bit of the classic kind of Citadel satellites, as we call them, that are now in like common lands. Again, just to add those touches from the original Freeport and common lands back in here.
The River of Wine.
And some yes, they're passed out drunk, of course.
It is the river of wine.
Yes, it's all wine. And do we want to show the top or let them find out about that?
Oh, the architecture's
We
fine.
can, yeah.
Yeah, all the way up at the top. All the way.
It's
might-
not populated in here.
You're-
though.
Right.
Am
You
I gonna
might-
die?
You might die, yeah.
Even with
That's you put the
I've
kill
got,
plane in there.
I've got,
I don't mind.
I've got, I've got. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. Oh well, I'll cheat a little.
Oh,
Wait, I'm probably still gonna
I
die.
mean, a little more.
nah, just looks.
Right there. Everyone's like,
There
this.
you go.
It's just cool because people don't get to see this.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't, right?
Oh, I
yeah.
Oh, darn it.
What are you talking
There's
about?
a bug if you do see this. Yes.
I'm alive. I'm alive. It's all good. And ultimately, you
got
end up
that.
in the top where we've. I'll let Nathan or whoever wants to talk a bit about why it's changed a bit up here versus.
Yeah, so as you get closer and closer, or I should say, as you progress through the zone, you are actually going up higher. And so here you've got Lucan's throne, and there is a significant amount of void influence in here, because this is where it is truly revealed, and the culmination of what you've been doing through the void gets you to here, which is to face Cthurath, the consumer. This is the god of the void. He has always existed in the void. So any mention of him, yeah, it makes sense that there'd be no mention of him on Norath. But he is here. He was here before our universe was created. He will be here after we are all gone. This is a done deal. It is in stone. It's just a matter of when. The void will consume all. And you're just trying to stop it from happening today But this will happen, and has happened before, and our universe was born from it, according to lore.
I could not have said all that.
So here you're going to actually fight a projection of Cthurath, because he is using Lucan as a way to try and get into Norath and, you know, all of the real universe on our dimension, I should say. And so he is trying to use Lucan and his powers here as a way to bridge.
Because
over.
it's right on the edge of
It
the
is.
universes, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So he is that was a plan set into motion, and he is moving forward with that. But he was angered and woken by some things that happened earlier in Norath's expansion's history. So you get to assume for yourself as to what exactly it was that pushed that off. But we know what it was. So here you go. This is where you'll actually fight him for a while until you can get him at least severed that tie for a moment between he and Lucan. And therefore, Lucan then comes out of the kind of being controlled by Cthurath and can then tell you a little bit more, pull back a curtain, and tell you more about what had gone on and explain a few things. And that's when Lady Najana then explains, things are bad. And we need to do more. And so that's when you get sent to the unknown and try to continue to investigate who it was that really set this off, because there's someone on Norath that did that.
All right, we're ready
Jump.
to head to Zanzibar's.
Yeah. And again, this is another unpopulated version, mostly. And this, Chris and I worked on it. It had a chaotic beginning.
Yeah.
Like we had a bunch of ideas that morphed into ideas and I think it turned out pretty cool.
Those are the best.
I
those are
think
the
so
best
too.
Ways to do it.
And yeah, that's how the ideas kind of panned out in the end.
It wouldn't be good if all of them were that way, but it's nice that some can.
Can't
And
always be easy.
a void zone is the perfect
Yeah.
use of
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
type of planning.
So obviously you come in here and some things are staring at you, and we wanted to make that kind of hit you hard, just like what is going on? You got all these toothy looks around here, you got some portals, and you're like, okay, well, what do I do? So ultimately there's a bunch of dungeons, so I'm just going to take you to the two wings and kind of show it off a bit. Oh, where's our buddy? Did we ever name like
Everything's
Neth
named
or
Bob.
not.
Bertha, Bob?
Neth or
What?
not.
It's got to have a name. Just chilling in the background. Again, something
call
with
him
the
Ray.
horizon.
Ray.
But we took a different approach with this, and over time, and I won't say more, it'll become more apparent. But basically, it's kind of an island hop around the center island. You kind of work your way up, the void architecture back, again, trying to layer things, lots of teleportation. And we wanted to have something in the middle of the zone, which originally, without saying too much, this was supposed to hide something that wasn't there, but it turned out to be what we wanted to be there. That's so vague. It'll make sense in the future. But
Nice.
it's
tuned.
There are
stay
definitely
tuned.
plans for this zone.
But it turned out really cool, and we got some custom animations courtesy of Tom to kind of bring the zone to life. Again,
Toby.
yeah, each of the zones has a little bit of something that kind of makes you ask, what else is there? Better question is probably what's below me? And again, the trench of thou shalt not cross, you will die. And then another set of islands and kind of a research facility.
Oh yeah, this whole place is one of those labs where the gazers and the evil eyes are doing their experimentation. So the Zanzibar's syndicate are in here.
More
they're-
rounded architecture too. It works well with the gazers. And
Oh, yeah.
Their eyeballs going through the
Portals and
space.
stuff, yeah.
Again, yeah, the kit and the way we could use it, and we'll show more of that off in the next zone. Really let us bring a lot of these areas to life.
It would be weird if they had stairs, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, most of it's ramps. Yeah, I think that was actually one of the things we said. Just like,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
should have been
combat.
familiar, but it shouldn't have been so unfamiliar you don't understand it.
Yeah, and still be
tree.
ground accessible to
Exactly.
to their slaves,
Yeah,
to their
sure, yeah,
minions.
yeah.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll be in the other one.
Yeah.
And this is the. Which one are you going to show?
He's going to show this.
This one? All
Yeah.
right, cool. I won't say anything. Oh, there's our buddy back there. And then, again, just kind of work your way around. And another research facility up here. Another chance to ask yourself, what is that? And then, basically, that's what is there of Zanzibars, which also had many names, but ended
It
up on
still
that.
does.
And then we go from here. Let's see.
All right, so we're going to show off the home, the prestige home
Oh yeah.
that you
It may
can
take
get
a
with the
bit.
expansion.
Yeah. So,
Do you want to tell us all how it's pronounced, Nathan?
yeah,
Zerudel.
Zerudel.
the Void Prestige Home. That's the easiest one to pronounce. So while the zone is spinning up, each year when we're making the Prestige Home for the collector's edition, we always want to try something different. And there's so many homes out there, so we want to give you guys something that is useful, but also maybe sparks some ideas for your
Has potential.
And
for decoration.
yeah, and usually it's takes a bit of some of the dungeons. Like last year, there was some of the Dragon Crypt, and we felt this year that last year's a little on the darker theme side, which was actually the reason we added that outdoor section, was so that there was some relief from that darker kind of crypt-like feel. And what we wanted to do this year was basically flip it. So instead of using like Garion's Hold, Lucan's Citadel as a place to have your home, which maybe that would make it like an awesome guild hall someday. Just saying, it does kind of work.
We got to clear it out and everything first.
That's true. We'll leave the executioner's pit.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's where you put everything you don't want anymore.
We wanted to make this.
And then it goes to Antonica.
Yeah. Every time you jump in, it ports you somewhere else. We wanted this one to be a lot happier, brighter, but still have some of that void feel. And if it actually decides to load, we
Yeah,
can take
it-
you through it.
Just to let everybody else out there know, this is not the home having a long load time. This is our internal server hardware is a little overtaxed right now because we've got a lot of stuff running right now in the background. So it's just communicating with the zone
There it
servers.
goes.
Well, it's way more
Spinning
fun.
it up for the first time just takes a long
Here it
time.
comes.
Stare at us is way better.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the Prestige Home because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
And we placed a couple things in here. Kyle, you can tell
Yeah,
them what
yeah.
it is.
So we did put some of the cool stuff from the. This is the dungeon teleporter from the Friends and Family. This is the. You click on this and it basically takes you to the. The way we set these up is they're connected to the exit of each of the dungeon sets, so it helps you get to the dungeons quickly. And then over here, this is the teleporter to the expansion that you will receive. Super cool.
Which, if some of you guys may remember the original obelisk of Lost Souls.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like a exploded, reimagined version
Yeah,
of the original.
you can see some
obelisk
of the
Lost Souls.
same shapes from the original obelisk in there.
Or even the one in Enchanted Lands, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
might
and
get that
Farot.
wrong. Farot.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then this is the brick set. What do we
Yep.
call them?
I
Box set.
call them the void blocks, yeah. But they look slightly different than the ones used in the zone, just so we could make them more universal, we'll say. And a couple different shapes, some columns, some short walls. But this time, instead of just almost overly detailed walls and floor pieces and columns, we wanted to actually dial it way down. And because you guys really, really like the general blocks, so we wanted to take that and say, well, let's give some shapes that don't exist and see what players can do with it. And you can definitely see what we've done with it, because a lot of these shapes are very similar in all the zones. It's perfect for just imagining different ways to put things together.
Yep.
The
With
potential on them.
And then over
Exactly.
here we have the painting of the amazing key
Just
art.
floating in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
magic,
As
everything's
paintings are wont to do.
Norhath is a magical place.
This is
That is
my
true.
favorite key art ever.
It's really
Yeah,
awesome.
it's really cool.
And as for the home itself, kept it relatively simple and open, kind of an ode to like the classic floating island, which people really remember very fondly. It is perfectly flat. It should be noted this is like our first Prestige home to use kind of our new terrain tech. So I'm really interested to see, what players can do with this. Simply layered, with a little way up and some perfectly flat overhangs. Again, an interesting horizon. The water kind of flows in a little interstellar-like, and just some magical portals out there just to give something, light and airy to the sky.
Those portals that are also in the background of our new character select.
Yeah.
That is true.
Which
And
is
then
awesome.
there are a couple spots underneath where there's some flat areas that ceiling items will attach to, but it is mostly organic. But we did take the time to try and flatten some things out. And then just a couple little offshoots. But yeah, just again taking the theme of what we established in the Void and bringing it out here for everyone to build as they see fit.
As a note, Tim, you should take a swim in that giant swimming pool right there and see what happens.
No, it does not, does it?
Yep.
Does it?
Oh, Rob.
Did you do that for today?
No. That's, that is in the art volume.
Oh.
It's not actually happening. You're just imagining it.
Yeah. That won't happen.
Alrighty.
Or maybe it will.
So we're going to make a transition and move some people around so that we can show you some more really cool stuff. Don't go away. It's just going to take a minute. And we will be right back. Alrighty, so that was a quick transition, right? It was probably way faster than you thought it would be.
I went out for lunch. And came back.
We had lunch, came back. So we've switched around some people. Up here, we have, introduce yourself.
Ninja on the floor.
Oh, you already introduced yourself. And Chris.
I'm Ninja.
I'm T. Toby.
Okay.
I'm
Right.
a Kroll.
All right. So what we're going to do next is we are going to talk about Void Incursions,
Void Incursions.
which are our new public quests. We really wanted to do something different, and we also wanted to use public quests because it's a great tool. So we've worked really hard on changing the experience so that they're enjoyable and not fun.
Well,
Chris,
you notice that I'm in the blinding, and you're probably wondering why I'm in an older zone. This is because with the Void Incursion, they are invading Norath and the planar realms, actually, as you'll discover. And whenever you see this thing in the sky, that means the PQ is active.
Yeah,
and you're going to want to try to get to it and thwart the bad guys.
So to be clear, during the beta, we only tested one location,
Right.
but there
Only
are
7.
actually multiple locations
Right.
for these Void Incursions. We're not going to tell you where they are because you're going to have to figure it out. That's also another part of this is there will be some community involved where y'all are going to have to talk to each other. So
It's kind of the idea of public quests in general.
it is.
So when you see that in the sky, that means it's active, and you got to find these teleporters that takes you down into it. You have to be level 135.
Is it down or up?
Who knows?
Good answer.
Unknown.
Wow.
So here I ported into the Void Incursion, and this is the invaders from the unknown.
Some really cool effects going on there.
Yeah, you want to avoid the beams. But yeah, the idea
Don't cross the beams.
the idea was that you're going into this other dimension where you're trying to. This is like their Void Incursion platform. This is where they've invaded on their battle station into Norath, and you want to just kill all the bad guys. And right as you can see, we've got 30 updates here.
Louder.
Louder? Can you hear me okay? Closer. How's this? Okay. So the idea again, what I was saying earlier, is that you want to try to kill all these bad guys, but it also includes crafting, because we wanted to include different play styles. So I'll give an example here. So here's one of our new Nightbloods and Lamia guarding this rift gate into the void. So I'm going to kill this guy. He'll drop a version of himself, and she'll drop a version of herself. You do a bit of harvesting. You get some parts, and then you use that to click on the rift gate, and that's what you use for crafting. But I don't have crafting ability. Oh, I need one more. No, I need some more. Need some more parts here. Don't worry, I'll get there. See, I've killed these two guys. I've got a couple of updates. Oh, what?
What is it saying?
Oh, you know why? Because I have no gathering ability. I'm a noob.
This is how you know the stream is live.
Yes. Okay, now I'm gonna.
You didn't manage to gather anything? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
There you go. It's happening.
All right. So then, I'm too inexperienced.
This is just like
So-
a normal PQ experience.
This-
You go in,
this-
try to figure out what's going on.
Everyone's just pausing it, looking
There we go.
for the
Okay, so
slash
yeah,
commands.
We totally planned this.
This is this. There is no way to level from 1 to 135 in a single PQ. Just so you know.
Yes.
So, anyways, you have to have the new formless fuel to finish crafting. But anyways, you can. I'll bypass this. Get out of here. I'll destroy this guy.
So
Okay.
everybody's in action. There's
Yeah.
there's PVE
The
stuff going on. You're
right.
fighting in this, but there is crafting stuff that
There's crafting.
supports the PQ. So if you're just a crafter,
And the idea
not
was
just
that
a crafter,
Yeah,
if
the
you're a
idea
crafter,
was-
then you can come in here and help out with the Void Incursion.
Yeah, and Tim really put
really
together an awesome looking platform here where you can see other possible incursions taking place in this otherworldly dimension.
Also, don't fall off.
Don't fall off, you will die.
Yeah.
And so this is a public quest. So in past public quests, there's been the high mitigations that you probably experienced where you don't do a whole lot of damage. But in this one, we've toned it down a bit. So as you progress through the expansion, you will start to be able to damage it using your abilities at one.
Do
low
more
135.
damage and contribute
Yeah.
meaningfully to the
Right.
public quest.
And I wanted to show as many of the possible different creatures that are coming in from the void, because this is basically an amalgam, basically the United Nations of the void coming in to try to take over Norath. And then there's a bad guy, the main bad guys here. There's going to be either a main boss that's a Lamia or a Nightblood with her little cohorts here. But that's the idea, is that you have to just try to destroy this whole thing, and when you do that, when you finish this, you can exit this void incursion, and you go back up to the top. And when you do finish, I'm going to show some of the rewards here. Let's see if I can get to it. Okay. So, if you are an active member, you'll get some of these rewards. Like the aethermatic alloy. See, I've finished it. That's the currency for the expansion. The adventurous void shards, which are used for recipes to convert crit bonus gear to crit bonus overcap gear, and the brass lambents are from like the prelude events. You recognize that from the prelude PQs as well.
And they will still have use and desire through the expansion.
And then one of the So here I've spawned one of the recipes for that is possible to loot are these Matermelia. This is for earrings, converting earrings. You use that to make this item here, which you can examine and convert your. Here's an example of a combat mitt earring. You could use this item to convert it, and then you get your version that has the crit bonus overcap. So that the main one of the big rewards for the PQs is getting those recipes and the ingredients for converting those. And then there's also a PQ in the unknown, which takes place within its own instance, which I will not show here, but that one culminates in a weekly quest that offers you a choice of a celestial spell.
Yeah, so there's going to be all kinds of rewards, but one of the big rewards is if you participate once a week, you'll be able to choose a celestial spell for your class.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the because we were only testing the Sodden PQ on beta. One of the concerns as well. This is just I'm going to have to just do this one PQ and wait for it to happen every couple hours to farm whatever. That's not going to be the case here because it is open to a bunch of different zones, and there's going to be multiple PQs running at the same time. So you're not just stuck on a timer that you have to be there for this one. You can, anytime you play, you could play at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be something available.
Several zones. We'll say several.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's systems also, and there's also systems in place where you can probably solo or duo these if you've got the time. It's not like past PQs where if you couldn't gather 20, 30 people, you couldn't complete it. Now you can. It'll take a little longer, but the system's there that if you put the time in, you can even do it by yourself, likely. But yeah, that's the PQ system, the Void Incursion system in a nutshell.
All right, cool. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna show off some raids. Is that what we're gonna do?
Raids?
Yeah.
I'm actually already in one.
All right.
Switch over. So this is the first raid. It will actually be active with the expansion launch. You'll have to do some stuff to unlock it, but
That's
not
new,
hard.
right? It's been a while since we've had a full raid active.
Yeah,
with
I think
expansion
Zamara
launches.
was the last one we did, but before that we didn't do it very much. So yeah, it was pretty popular then, and it gives people something to strive for during the holidays, and it's not super, progression centric because it's the first boss, and it's not it's not something that's going to be extremely difficult. But I'll show you the zone a little bit. I can't really show a whole lot because you can't really raid as one player, but I can do some things. I can try. I'll probably die a couple times, but whatever. I did beef up the base pop a little bit, but base pop will be dropping stuff in the expansion, so there'll be a reason to actually go and clear base pop,
which is a good change.
Yeah. So let me run faster here.
Hey, he didn't drop anything.
He didn't drop anything, no. But this is very loosely populated, but you'll have to clear this stuff to get a boss to spawn here. Let me see if I get him.
Yeah, let's see the boss.
And there it is.
I thought it was gonna be gigantic.
No. So
in the old days, that's how you knew it was a raid boss. It was just 5 times larger than.
Well, it is a little bit larger than most, I would say.
When
but,
all you can see are the feet.
I kid.
Yeah.
Yes, you're fighting a toenail.
And this one, I specifically made this one of the flying combat, so she stands out a little bit more when you're in a group trying to fight her and everything. A few things different about raids this year is the buff where you can check the resolve and everything like that also includes information like how long the fight is supposed to take or can take, or how many players they're supposed to have.
That's good.
For like tier 1, you don't really get any penalties unless you go under 12 players. And then the boss will maybe buff themselves a little easier because, they're fighting less enemies and can focus.
So they're going to stomp you into the ground? Is that what they're going to do?
They should, yes. The later the tier, obviously, the more restrictive those things
We
types
call
are.
that raffle stomp.
Yeah. I'm going to add that as an ability. No. I can't really show some of the fight, but this fight is pretty involved. It is actually a bit of a shock when you pull it the first time because it's a lot of moving parts, but it is also very predictable. So once you kind of learn the fight as a guild, you can do it. It becomes a rhythm, and it's a lot easier to handle. One thing I would suggest is maybe look for some in combat run speed because you'll be moving a bit, and you might not always have a healer near you. Yeah. So. Can't really show too much of the fight, but I'm going to go to another zone, which is in the unknown. So it's an unknown raid.
Unknown.
Yeah.
It's an unknown raid zone. I keep looking at their screen instead of looking this direction because I can't see that.
So this will probably take a little bit to go over because I haven't loaded it yet. But,
All right. Well, do you want to talk about like some of the changes you made for raids this year? Like, is there anything?
Yeah.
Is there anything super cool?
So I mean,
I know there's.
last year I had a new kind of raid boss system that I had created, and it had a lot of moving parts to get tested and everything. Some of the things that were negative about it were there was a lot of curing going on, and players, priests, they hated how much curing had to be done. So that's been resolved. There's a lot less active curing having to happen. Also, there was a lot less of AoE blockable stuff, stuff that used abilities that made you immune to things. Those kind of things were bypassed quite heavily last year, and put a lot of time into making sure that if you have an ability, it works like it says it's going to work. There are times where that is not the case, like for failure effects and stuff like that. But for the most part, I tried to make it to where if it says you're going to be stunned and you have a stun immunity, you don't have a stun. There are times where you might just, instead of being stunned, you'll have just no beneficials, but at least you can cast hostiles or the other way around. A little bit more just allowing you to use your abilities like they're supposed to be used. And that was just something that was an
Not
oversight
just
last year.
standing there like a tense stake getting pounded into the ground.
Yeah, or just curing over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah. So those are the type of things that I tried to focus on this year to make that system better and to make it more fun and less button mashing. For the
Right.
most part.
Fun is the key word.
Right. Looks like it's
Here it
loading.
comes. Here it comes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a good opportunity to see those new loading screens at least.
Yeah. That Aaron Bisnet did, and they're always amazing. He does a fantastic job. I mean, besides the 11 billion other things he does, but like armor and weapons and all that fun stuff, which we have new armor and weapons and all kinds
And
of
they're
fun stuff.
amazing looking. I'm actually wearing some of the robe.
Oh
right now.
yeah. You want
I
to
can
show that
show it
off
off.
with the
There's,
cool
like,
moving
some
void
cool-
textures?
Yeah, the texture's all in it move. There's a cloak. I don't think I have a cloak on this one. No.
Fail.
I can show it up.
Yeah, you can show it when he goes to
Those-
the other
Those
area.
big,
but
beautiful Nightbloods.
yeah, these are some of the new Nightbloods. They've got awesome
They are
mustaches on their heads.
They are fantastic.
I mean, horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all new, and they have new animation sets.
I
and
wouldn't
everything's really
recommend using them for handlebars.
cool. No, they don't like that. I hear. This is one of the new succubus model, or the Lamia.
Lamia.
Um,
How do we
One
pronounce
thing
it?
that's really cool about these guys, hopefully she doesn't just outright kill me, but they actually have a really cool animation when they go into combat that I wanted to show off. Oh, I guess not. There she goes.
And the spikes fly.
Yeah, she grew horns and spikes out of the arms, and the tail comes off. The tail is actually, if you look at it in the regular model, it like wraps around as a belt.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's just
awesome.
really neat. They're supposed to be, kind of less threatening when they're not fighting.
when you're not
Yeah.
bugging them.
More beguiling. This
Yes.
is a specific callback to their presence when you saw them in Enchanted Lands and
Rivervale
Rivervale. Yep. Thank you.
for the Jum Jum.
Yes.
So,
Beguiling.
there's,
That's a good word.
So this isn't fully quite populated yet. There's some areas that are empty, but I'm going to take us to an area where there's a slightly large boss, I think is what I'll call it.
Slightly large.
Yeah, slightly large.
Is it ginormous?
Maybe.
Is it a giant gnome?
Tell them.
Don't tell them.
Let's go. No, what I do.
Something happened to him, man.
I know.
Oh my god.
Oh, look.
Taking a bath.
Ooh.
So yeah, this guy you'll have
Oh.
to actually do something in the zone to get him to summon, and something goes wildly wrong and he grows really big and you have to end up fighting.
It's
him.
the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
Yeah, he is pretty massive.
5 Nightbloods combined.
The other cool thing is he's actually pretty slow, so you can kind of run away from him. He'll take his time getting to you, but if he gets to you, it's going to be pretty brutal. So a lot of this raid is kind of avoiding where he is and completing different objectives while you're damaging him and he's
Looks
running
awesome.
around. So, yeah.
We know it's a void. What
Come
about
back
the void?
here, bunny
Nobody got that.
rabbit.
That was just me.
Yeah, you have to avoid him.
Ah,
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I could really show right now for raids. If you have any questions, though, I mean, feel free to contact me on the Discord or the forums or whatever.
or ask some questions in the Q&A.
Or in the Q&A,
at the
yeah.
end. Right?
Yeah.
Because we're going to answer some questions at the end of this. All right, cool. I totally forgot what we were doing now. Oh yeah,
I can show one. I could show
Untold Dungeons. We're doing Untold
Well, I can
Dungeons.
show
and Dungeons.
I can show Zanzibars real quick.
Oh, we're already there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not the Untold
It's
version,
magic.
but I just wanted to kind of hop on to what Nathan was saying earlier about how the gazers are into experimenting on creatures and creating new ones because they have to satisfy their boredom somehow.
The Nullites.
Some of that is in the zone later on in the zone, but when you first enter, I don't know if you remember seeing these from Tim's walkthrough, but you've got these little basically void
Condos.
brownies.
Condos.
Yep, they've got the condos here, and they're writing the little. I put them on the little the mantas.
Nethernauts.
Yep.
They're called Nethernauts.
Nethernauts. Okay.
Yes. Not Ray.
The big one's Ray. I call the big one Ray.
Okay. He can be Ray.
Yeah, and then they're fighting these guys here, the Ichor Fiends. So I've put together a bit of a little mini battle between the Void Brownies and
The
these
Void
Ichor Fiends.
Brownies.
Delicious.
They are.
Destroyer of Brownies is still the best title.
Yes.
And then what
So what?
So here's
where are we?
this is in Zanzibar. It's called the Chimeric Chain.
This is the first dungeon.
This would be well, they're interchangeable for the Zanzibar's dungeons. You can
Right.
go to this one or the
Okay.
other version.
This is number 2.
Yeah. But here's a bit of the
Oh wow.
idea behind the new creations that the gazers are creating. So here you've got the old Void Beast that you're familiar with. Toby made some new animations to make it look like they're kind of just floating in stasis
Fluid.
here. And then here's some of these are the Skykin,
Skrykin.
That's
That's
basically
very cool.
the lab assistants to the gazers.
And they were not created by the Gazers. They come from the plane of magic.
Yeah, they
Pop quiz next after this.
Here's some more of some of the
Oh, that's
creations
cool.
here. This one exists outside of the void. This creature here, but the idea is that you've taken this guy plus the void beast, and when you progress through,
They're making new stuff.
they're making new stuff. And I will.
New and horrible things.
Which you definitely get to encounter later, too.
New and horrible things.
So that this would be the void beast plus that weird other creature that I don't know the name of that doesn't come from the void. And you've got these weird. They're more like vampiric void creatures, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
And then this little setup here the idea was that to show off
The progression.
the progression of the creation of the gazers. So you've got your octopus over here. This is the what were they called? Nathan, help me out.
It's not the Gahane, is it?
No, that was this is the one from Echo Caverns. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name.
Traylocks?
the some.
Oh,
I
the-
can't see it. Yeah.
I can't.
Anyways, what are these called?
It's a creature.
Thought horrors or
Thought-
something?
Oh yeah.
Is that what they
are?
That is a
Oh.
thought horror.
Yeah,
Yes.
thought horrors. Yeah. So
Yes,
the,
from
the idea was that you get a
original
thought horror plus an octopus, and you've got these void horrors.
You get
right?
Thoctopus.
Yeah.
And they were on Luckland. That's where they
Yeah.
became
Yeah.
from. Yeah.
So that's just
Octo horror.
another like it kind of shows that they're not just collecting species from the void. They're getting stuff outside.
Or it's coming here and they're grabbing it.
Right,
and
right.
they're
Or like here,
manipulating
you've
it.
got the Gahain from I think Obel
There it
Plains,
is.
Eidolon, yeah, and then they're using the octopus plus that to create these weird creatures with tentacle arms. So that's where we're kind of explaining where some of these things are being created.
Visually storytelling.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Or was that the Zephian? Was that the name?
Zaphian,
Zaphian.
yeah, that's
Thank
what
you.
that's what I was calling it.
Zaphian.
Here's some more of those
Pieces.
creations that eating their own, because that's what horrific creatures do. And you've got your gazer kind of just studying. Oh, look at these guys.
Taking
look at my
notes.
creatures. Look at my pets eating.
Look what I made.
But yeah, that was just to kind of give an idea of some of the lore behind some of these creatures, their creation. And now I can show a bit of the Untolds. See how long it takes
Right.
to zone to the.
It's fun that we've
Are we-
already
Are we supposed
met.
to show? Are we supposed to show Garyon first?
We can, yeah.
It's fun that we've already met one of their creations.
Mhm.
Stick to the script, man.
Oh, that went out the door the second we started.
I know. That's our talent. It's
There's
our
a
super.
script.
It's our superpower.
So, we can talk about the Untolds. The progression in the Untolds, how and why we came up with it is to basically have another opportunity for raiders, even non-raiders, to progress into raid quality gear.
They're basically heroics, but it's
Yeah.
giving you more challenging content for groups as opposed to raids, but also giving you the opportunity to have progression. So you raid on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then that's the only time you get raid gear. Well, that's not true anymore. So now you can get together with a smaller group of people and challenge the untold dungeons and make progression. You're also helping out your guild, right? Because you're possibly getting some pieces you need, which
Mhm.
takes the load off of
How many drops you got to get in raid?
how many drops you got to get in
Right.
raid and etc. So yeah, and the whole idea is that these are a progression, and you'll have to work your way up through them, and they will definitely get
Yeah,
more-
and there
more
is no skipping tiers, so you can't think I'm gonna go get the the end raid quality gear in Untolds before the raids are released, because we're not going to do it. We're going to pair the releases between the
Yeah.
raid tiers and the Untold tier.
Yeah, so we're
yeah.
going to launch with 2 Untold Dungeons, and then the idea is each time we do a raid release, we'll be adding more Untolds, and then also you'll be able to progress into higher tiers as they come out. So
Right.
yeah, so you can't bypass tier 2 raids by doing Untolds. The Untolds will progress to tier 2 when the tier 2 raids come out, and so on and so forth.
And you
Well-
cannot get fully geared in the
No.
Untolds. You have
Right.
to, if you want to get full raid quality gear, you do
You
have,
have
to raid.
raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
The
get
idea is to
specific
supplement,
slots.
yeah,
You
Right.
can get specific slots, but raid will have a full suite of gear, but you can supplement it with
Right.
the Untolds.
The idea is to be able to fill in gaps and make progression.
Right. Yeah. So right now there's a lot of progress. There's a lot of. I've started calling them stages
Mhm.
because tiers are used for everything else.
Not confusing at all.
Right. So the Untold stages, you'll start at 1. Your first stage is free. You can just go in. Once you've made the progression through normal heroic zones, you can then progress through Untolds, and then the first Untold stage is free. And then from there, you unlock you can unlock the first 20 stages. That's a lot of stages, but it's a lot of stages.
But it also seems like you've thought out
Yeah, so
For it to be rewarding.
basically the first 20 stages are released with the expansion launch and go until I think January. January's. Am I allowed to say when they're releasing, Carlos?
No.
It's like the early January.
Early
yeah.
Jan. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And
With
then the next 20 stages after that release with the the raid tier releases.
In
so
February.
then right, and then
Yeah.
that means you can do untold stages from 1 to 40, and then when the next tier of raids unlocks, that releases another 20 untold stages. So then you can do 1 to 60.
Yeah.
Um,
And the goal is to have 8 untold dungeons by the time we get to the first game update
Right.
of the expansion.
Right. So I'm gonna just when you first zone in, you'll see this porcelain, the puppet master, with these flying octopi and this little puppet. As you progress through Untolds, you'll gain these. They're called Untold Void puppets. They're expendables that you can use from your, inventory, and then you use them to basically set the stage that you are allowed to set it up to. So, for instance, your first one's free. Everybody gets that. But let's say 2 weeks from now, you have a guild member who's reached stage 10, and nobody else has gone past stage 1. That guild mate of yours, or anybody can just take the group in, set the stage to 10 or 11 because you are allowed to go one higher than your max stage, and when you complete that untold at stage 11, it'll bump everyone up to that.
And they all get that flag.
Yeah, they will all get that flag.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
something to mention too, Raid is doing something similar where the way that it updates is very similar. As you complete things, it'll automatically update the account for your progression, so you don't have to keep track of a quest anymore. For Raid progression specifically. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
Okay.
I don't know if the stream picks up in-game sounds.
I can hear it.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
As
Oh.
long as you can hear it.
Ba-ding.
'Cause let's see it. This is this Paragon of the Overlord is just basically the statue of the Lich. I would say the Lich form of Lucan.
Lucan,
Yeah. And this is just some of the population in his. This is called the Ark of Ascension. This is where all of his most loyal followers gather to basically pay homage to him. I mean, like.
You said lich, but he's not really a lich.
Yeah, well, he looks like one.
He's his own thing.
He's something new.
Revenant arc.
Right. I'm waiting for him to
Say
do a spiel,
something.
but let's. But anyways, this
Okay.
is this is a bit of the zone with population. These are all new models here. These
Those
guys. Yeah, that was also Nobrin who Nobrin.
Auburn.
Nobrin, Aaron Bisnet worked on these. Look wonderful, look amazing. And then I've got all the different worshippers. I've got every single race, player race here.
You did not.
I did, yeah. They're all there. They're all represented. They speak the
As
player.
they should
They
be.
speak the player language. So you have, if you need to do any quests with them, you have to speak their language. Yes. Here's some of the. Oh, these are the new Lucanic Knight models. Show some of those. Oh, and then we have female models as well.
As we should.
Yeah, Dave Brown made the female versions, and that was off of the male version. Look at the armor from the males. That's it just looks awesome there.
Oh, yeah, this is some more of the void textured armor.
Right.
With actual moving textures and stuff. It looks so cool.
You're actually wearing that armor, I think.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, show it off. Except for the weird cloak.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have a cloak?
You're wearing it in the regular.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah.
yeah, you can see the chest piece with the moving void textures.
Yeah, there it is.
And
Yeah.
there's
That's the-
multiple colors.
It's like a
This
galaxy
is more
or nebula.
Aaron Bisnet's work. That
Amazing.
cloak is amazing.
Oh, and then did you add to? One thing where's that cloak effect? Is this the one?
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing too to note is that the raid effects that you can get in this expansion's raids will work in the Untolds, as you can see in the description here. It says this effect can only take effect within Rage of Cthurath raid and Untold dungeons. So that's another bonus for. It's kind of like they kind of like piggyback off of each other here, the raids and the Untolds.
And a lot more raids this year will have some effects on the more rare drops.
But as you can, and if you look at some of the NPCs here, and I'll show off some the buff package. So you'll see like that's Cloak of Cthurath 1. That means it's stage 1. It shows the resolve that they have. Now, if I were to
Death magic.
Cheater.
My head's in the way, or they know the
left,
command.
left, right,
Yeah, yeah.
up, down.
So let's say we've reached level 80, right? So now when everything spawns, it's going to have this. I had to look this up. What the Roman numeral for 80 is? That's L and 3 X's.
What was wrong with 80?
I like this. Looks more, I don't know. Feels
It's
more.
our ode to the Super Bowl.
Norath is a Roman numeral place.
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
very. It's
Exactly.
it's the very Freeport Lucan style, but you can see that the resolve has increased along with the tier of the zone, the stage of the zone, I should say.
Yes.
So we're at 13,960. That's the current max resolve that is required, minimum resolve required to take on the final, which will be released with the GU.
The first GU of
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
That's one thing we're doing this year. Instead of trying to put in like, what are we going to do for the GU? We're actually there's a lot of stuff we haven't shown you. There's actually going to be expansion dungeons that you haven't gotten to play in or see that will be in the GU. So the GU is going to be kind of a Rage of Cthurath 1.2, 1.5.
And I should also mention that as you unlock stages in the Untolds, it doesn't just increase the mitigations, what I was showing earlier. It doesn't just increase the buff packages. Every 20 stages, it's going to unlock extra mechanics. So
New abilities, new
right.
mechanics.
So at the highest stages, it's basically, at H3, you can call it H4, H5 at that point because it's crazy. I'll probably die here.
Boom, boom.
Not probably.
I just want to kind of show this platform here.
Oh yeah.
This was made by our awesome dungeon artist Rick Randolph. Everything you see here.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
That
Tim did
platform
put Norath in the sky.
Tim made Norath.
Tim made Norath.
Alrighty.
You wouldn't be able to see this stage from the ground, but this is basically the Lucan's helmet.
There's a lot of like hidden symbolism
Mhm.
throughout this whole thing.
Rick put a lot in.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, there is a transport fight. There,
People's favorites.
Where you have
everybody
to
loves
jump.
those.
I think it works. I'm pretty sure it works.
Gotta have faith, faith, faith.
Babe.
My guy's not talking.
All right. So then we showed off. We showed off Zanzibar's already.
I showed
Yeah.
off one of the Zanzibars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't seem that hard.
Yeah. That's I need
That
to
was
add, I need to
taking
add I need to add more mechanics to that.
Yeah. That's the -1 stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the chest turns into a mob and attacks you.
Oh, oh.
Want to just
I think he activated.
We're showing off all of our elite dev right clickies.
Catherine.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show
Oh, that's cool.
the platforms here.
Stomp.
Worked a lot with Rick Randolph to get these to work. The idea here, yeah, I did a little laser show. Ignore that dog. He'll be dead by now. Sorry.
Is Lucan the DJ?
Yeah, this is Anyways, that's just some of the
That's cool.
the visual stuff from the Untolds that you get to see.
Can you see it if you're playing on mud mode?
No.
I don't know.
Don't hurt me.
Please. Yeah.
And I win.
For your own sake,
I
don't.
win.
So, and then let's see if this works. I've completed the zone. Gotta go to my achievements, and you can track your stage progression on the first page of achievements. Untold Heroics is at the bottom under triumphs, and then Rage of Cthurath. And then here all of the current named zones will be listed. Some of these are not going to be available at launch, but they're here to show you that they will become available as zones unlock for raids. For instance, this is Arc of Ascension. When I came in here, I had none of these. None of these were filled in. They all basically look like this,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But I basically, I cheated. And I got to level. I went to 80. Just to just kind of show, like, yeah, it will backfill.
You can
Everything.
help people catch up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had nothing. So yeah, if you skip stages through piggybacking off someone else, it will.
You get those
it will
elite dev
backfill.
commands.
Right.
Alrighty. Cool. Did you want to show anything else?
No.
Are you sure? Okay. All right. So
Just-
we were
you
gonna.
can- you die if you go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you end up in Antonica. No, I'm just.
Come on.
All right.
What
All
else?
right. So we're gonna show off guild coalitions, right? That's
Okay.
what we're gonna show off next.
Let's see.
This is definitely something that the players have wanted.
Yeah. So I mean, the main idea with this is we have a lot of people who do raids and they're in multiple guilds and they don't want to leave their guild they've been in forever because they're loyal to it and they want to keep it around. So basically, we've put in a way for you to create a coalition, a guild that you all can join together. Oh boy, Capital District. And progress and
But it was so that you didn't have to leave your guild that
Right.
you had already established, and you could work with other people in this other guild then, and your achievements then in it could be felt by both of you, right?
right,
Without overriding one guild from another.
right, exactly. And the idea is that right now you can only be in your guild and one coalition. We might expand on it, but we're not committing to that.
It's got a lot of potential.
Well, it's
It
one of
has.
those things. We want to get it working right first, and make sure
Absolutely.
it's solid.
Oh, it has.
before
It also has
expanding.
potential for going
Yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
like messing up things that people have already done, history that they have already established with their
Right.
guilds. So it is a very touchy situation. So good testing,
Which
plenty
is
of
part
testing
of-
is an important
yes.
aspect on this
Which
one.
is part of why we opted to allow you to create a new guild and join the new guild. All right. So here we are in Kinos.
So one of the things to your progress with the coalitions, you've got your guild, you've got your friends, you never want to leave them. All you have to do is you go and you find the guild, the coalition adjutant in one of the major cities. Any of the major cities that have a guild registrar will also have a coalition adjutant. You go ahead and click on that adjutant and create a coalition. You don't need any other people in your group, unlike with how the guilds work, and you need 6 people. If you want to make a coalition, go ahead and do it. So go ahead and let's do that if we haven't already there, Chris.
Have we?
Click on
Should be
it.
able to just click on him, and then you have not.
Do you have to be in a guild first to be
You do
able
not.
to do it? Oh.
You do not need to be in a guild. Coalition
Rage
is
of
completely
Cthurath.
separate.
Coalition.
You can start one up of your own, or you can join with your friends, and then go on and have your fun groups with that. Let's go ahead and make one there.
Awesome guild.
That was
Coalition.
taken. Cool coalition.
Add some Roman numerals.
X X X X X L.
You got that red
when-
text on the end there for a reason.
That means name cannot or end in spaces. Okay. LXX. That's 80. Name is not correctly capitalized.
You can't have capitals in the middle of things.
Now,
This,
Tim-
these are all, by the way, the same rules that we have for
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 guilds.
guilds.
Naming.
For naming. So go ahead and just create the coalition there. We're going to jump up a couple levels really quick, just because we need to be a certain level of the coalition. So run the coalition 50 macro there. So when you're in a coalition, when you're in a guild, it harkens back into the day when people had, cloaks were new and fantastic, but you might remember there's the guild heraldry. Well, coalitions have the same thing, and it's completely separate, stored both, logically. So let's go ahead and click on that heraldry merchant, or the heraldry coalition's flag right there. You'll be able to change your coalition heraldry. Just go ahead and select anything you want there. Put an icon on it on the rotator on the top there.
this is gonna be. I'm gonna spend an hour on this. So just
No,
talk.
Don't do that.
I don't like that color.
You got the rotator on the top. The
Oh,
put a
no.
symbol on there. There you go. And go ahead and accept that. We can
Symbol of
not spend
V-shank.
the hour on it.
Oh, I like the cobwebs.
Who invited this guy?
Oh, sorry. All right. All right. Good.
Invited this guy.
All right. So, change link. What cast to adopt?
Yeah, set that one there.
Set heraldry.
And now you notice your cloak didn't change at all, but there's a reason for that. Go ahead and close this interface now. Go ahead and open up the guild interface. It's just you for the default. You notice on the top right of the guild interface, it has a grayed out icon of set active. Currently, you've created the coalition, but you haven't set that one to display as your active one yet. Go ahead and shift U, and let's open up the coalition window. Both of them are completely separate, and they can both be open, so you can compare them and say who got which achievement first. And on the top right, you have that button of set active. Let's go ahead and set that active. And you'll swap between them. Now, how the active guild works for a lot of achievements and for calling to your guild hall and stuff, it's which one of your guild or coalition is currently the active one. So if you want to call to your coalition guild hall, make sure you're showing your coalition first. You can still go into your guild hall manually, but your
So
call
does
will
it uses the same call spell? Oh.
use the same call spell. Will send you to whichever one is your currently active one. So you've got all of that full guild customization availability. You've got guild halls or coalition halls. They have all the amenities, and you can populate them just as you would as a guild. So essentially, yes, to guilds. One of the other major changes we've had is with how guilds and raid achievements work, or just achievements in general, guild achievements. They used to have a requirement if you had to have a certain percentage of the members in the fight that gave that achievement be of a specific guild.
Right.
We've gotten rid of that. So now whichever active guild you're in, if there's 13 of you in 13 different guilds killing the same raid boss, it updates and all 13 guilds get that achievement. So we can skip the well, you need to drop, and so we can bring one more so we can get the achievement for each guild thing. So. And that is coalitions in a nutshell.
All right. And this feature is available on Origins and TLE servers as well.
Yes.
Yes. Cool. As well as the new Illusion keyring, which is also coming out with Rage of Cthurath.
Rage of Illusion key rings.
Alrighty, cool. So I guess next we're gonna transition to the Q&A session, or additional topics. That's what this
People might
says.
have some.
Does anybody have any
Have a few
additional
questions.
topics? This is like a design meeting.
Is that his
Does
fault?
anybody else have anything that needs to be discussed today?
Who's phone?
Sorry, I'm in the way. Hi.
Nothing like confusion.
Let's get ready for all the art questions this time.
Art.
Yeah.
I did see
Alright.
one on the forums where they were asking the inspiration for all sorts of the different zones, but also the aesthetics to this, and just like wanting to know if there were other pop culture like polls that you had made, or if this was just what had seeped into different artists through time.
I can read
No,
that.
pure drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No. Oh
We
my
always
God,
start
don't
working
say
with you
that.
guys and, read
Yeah,
the document
yeah.
to get a bit of your ideas. You guys provide a lot of reference. And then from that, we kind of talk. We do what we call like 3D sketches, which is broadly shape out the area, throw some old objects in there sometimes just to kind of explain height or visual feel. And from there, we start to whittle. Again, like I
Yeah.
mentioned with the sprawl, it started with the snakes. And then we actually put the snakes in there, and then Nick Viator, who created the sprawl, started to cage them with all that lacing, and that sold the rest of it. Like it was containing it, and it, again, didn't make it just seem like it was topside. There's
Right.
again something under, and it goes from there. And
Or one of us gets a huge idea, like
Oh, yeah.
halfway through the design or halfway
Well,
through the art. and
that's
we
what
we
happened
meet
with
up real quick.
Zons of Oz.
Yeah.
It started nothing like what it ended up with, and for the better.
Yeah.
And then between Nathan and myself and the artists, we wanted each of the void zones to kind of be different, like you were saying. We had one that was kind of on the darker side, and then one that was more on the arid side, and then one that was more, for lack of a better term, kind of happier. So we wanted
Not too
contrast
happy.
between, not too happy,
Oh
but
god, none of it's happening.
contrast between all three, but still had stuff linking them together.
All right. Cool. The first question we have is, are the Prelude merchant items going to be available after launch?
They are, but it's not going to be the same way that you've seen some of the other ones available. So you've got the coins are going to be dropping. You're still going to be able to go back and to get those from those merchants. There's also going to be some more items that are coming in
Some
when
new
the
stuff.
expansion launches. So you're going to have more reason to go to them. You're going to have more reason to spend those coins, but they are not going away, nor are the components. So you can get that new fuel. I think it was a fuel. It wasn't a primary component. I think it was fuel. But anyway, it's dropping as part of the Prelude, and then it will continue to drop as well and be available in the expansion.
All right, cool. Does this void retcon the original void with the Shadowmen, a different void, a void where Tyr was imprisoned, question mark?
No, not a different one, and does not retcon, does not destroy, builds upon, shows you another area. This is Zebreth Tendril, and so it's just a completely different section of the void.
And the void is massive.
No,
So-
it's
Limit?
does not have an end
Right,
to
yes.
it. Like it is immeasurable. It is to that actual definition of just like there is no end to this. And so all sorts of things have ended up there through time, and they will all be consumed. And that is the base lore that we absolutely have stuck to about the void. Nothing here will conflict with what you were told, what you had heard, depending upon the point of view, though. Remember, sometimes you get narrators that you can't trust. You got to know that their knowledge is limited to them and what they know. But that said, when you go back and you look at the things that we know, those anchor knowledge points, no, none of this goes against it. It builds.
And just to quickly add to that, if you actually look at the original Void architecture, you will see some of the same shapes in the new Void kit that we've done in there. So there are some nods. It's obviously
Yes, there should
a
be.
different
Loosely
set,
influenced.
but you can see some similarities because, again, we wanted it to tie in but not be the same.
Because we do the same thing. We want to honor this stuff. We don't want to say, "Oh, that didn't happen," or do some hand waving. Like my favorite aspect of storytelling is actually the yes and that we do every single year, not only with our game but also with EQ. And it's, to me, that is some of the most rewarding spots that I get in, is the challenge of like, oh no, what lore do I have to then know to make sure that we don't conflict with something that's been established?
Stay tuned for when we answer some planet-side queries. Mysteries, that is.
Okay, cool. We already answered this, but are coalitions live server only? No, they are not. They will be available on TLE and the Origins server. Any mythical items this expansion?
Stay tuned and find out. What I will say is there are powerful items, absolutely. As Carlos alluded to earlier, there's some specific things that drop in raids that have effects, and those obviously, as you get further up those raids and further up those untolds, those will also get more powerful, and who knows where it may lead.
Yes. There are surprises.
Oh yeah.
Like, yes. Let's see. Would you please provide some insight into your process to make class changes in this expansion? Specifically, on what basis are you tuning class skills CAs?
So this expansion, one of the big driving goals is to try to squish the disparity some. Take some of the top stuff and get the bottom stuff closer to it. So that is our goal, and as we've been doing the tuning throughout the beta, it is looking at our numbers that people are doing currently on beta, throwing away all of the numbers that come from the people that are using the level 120 spells. The percentage of that is way too high for my comfort. Use your spell upgrades, please. This last week or so, we've gotten a lot of people that have switched over, and I think they're noticing the change.
Even if you don't think they're better, I mean, that's kind of the idea, is use them so that we can collect data.
Yeah,
and we can,
exactly.
We can make sure they're right.
But and then using those those numbers that we're getting from those to bring things closer together. Like our last tuning round brought some things down, and a lot of other classes further up. And that will happen. Hopefully, one more round of it. But it's not tuned to try to make things really powerful or blow out the balance that we've currently got tuning right now. But
just a few things
to
that
bring
are
that
obviously
squish
off.
further further together, so that there's less disparity and massive a jump in classes versus classes.
Okay, and I feel like that answers the second question as well, on how we monitor it. Was there anything else you wanted?
Every time you hit a mob, we log it. Every time you start an encounter, we log it, and those logs and stuff are what we're using.
And they're
for
pretty
that.
in depth too. It's not just, hey, he hit it this mob for this much. You could see some of their stats, some of the influences, what buffs, that type of stuff. So it's
And
pretty in
that's,
depth.
that's how you knew that there was a bunch of 120 spells?
Yeah, because instead of like on a normal player parse, you're seeing the spell name that hit, but you're not seeing what version of that spell it was. What we get is the actual version of that spell. We know exactly which one you're hitting it with at each time.
All right, cool. This is an interesting question. Are you aware of how lost everyone got on those platforms in Yongaroth, Ugathu, Sprawl? And were you secretly watching us go back and forth and snickering at
Not
us?
secretly.
Just out loud.
The platforms
It's
in
gotta be
Yongaroth?
the layering or the ruins? Good. That's my answer to that.
Was it good? Was it yeah.
All right, next question. Is the consumer at
That's
the
fun.
end of the signature line a playful nod to the appetites of the consumers who play the game?
No. However, the endlessness of the void is much like the hunger for specific cheesecakes that some of our players may have.
Oh, geez.
That's fun.
That is fun.
Don't encourage him.
Okay, Is the void in space or is it in another dimension?
Another dimension, absolutely.
It's in the
another
void.
dimension. Yeah.
I think
Is
that's
the
important
is the
with
void
Lucan- with
flat or
Lucan's-
round?
Yeah, he's not in the void, mind you. Like you get that. Tim tried to visually tell you, like he is not in the void. You don't see the big black holes off in the distance. You don't see any of that. That is not the skyline that you see. What you see is actually Norath, and so like he's not there, but that is where the void can reach first. And so, because of what he did, because of what he used to make his plane. But the void itself, no, that's not in space. That it's in its own dimension. Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, cool. Do you get excited for X-Pax or is it just cortisol season for you? Anyone answer? I'll answer that. We absolutely get excited for X-Pax. I think that's the goal. Is every year we are trying to do something that we're excited about. If we're not excited about it, then
Something's
we're
wrong, yeah.
then we're doing it wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and we are really excited for this one. It started out as, you know, a loose idea, and then it morphed into it just kept getting bigger and bigger, which is what we do ourselves every year. But
The challenges of making what we make is also bonus. Every year, we're always kind of pushing the boundary, you know. And I know I can't speak for others, but the Untold Dungeons was like a whole another level.
enough to make
crazy.
you want to quit.
No. I'm just really excited about them, and I'm excited
Looking
for
at
players too.
retirement. Oh, okay.
And to that, I'd say like 2 years ago, I think it was, when we were pitching different stories for an expansion, and I said something about, well, what I see is coming like the next expansion after what we were talking about, and you got so excited about that concept that you were like, no, let's do that one instead now. So it is absolutely about like,
Yes, that does happen.
is there something exciting? Because my goodness, if we aren't excited about it, you don't want us putting it out there. You don't want us working on it.
Yeah.
We want to be excited about it because we want to be able to say, you're going to be excited about this too.
I
Yeah.
think a good example would be the trade skill, the bug collections. Some of you guys saw that in beta, where you finish off the node and you can get a little collectible and stuff like that. And it was working fine, but we saw a lot of potential in it and really want to put more time into it and kind of make it a little better. So we held it back, and we're going to kind of tackle it a different way.
It was
to make
something
it more
that
fun.
we felt was cool enough that we need to do it right and put
Yeah,
some more time.
there can be
into
some
it.
more.
There was some cool
Yeah.
ways we could interact with it, and we didn't have the ability to do it with the expansions.
Right.
Not with the time available right
Right.
now, but yeah,
Yeah.
some more bells and whistles on it. I think that'll, yeah.
And also the way we do expansions is it is by committee. I mean, everybody is allowed to bring ideas. Everybody's allowed to have a pitch. There are no bad ideas until we get to the actual meeting, and then there's bad ideas. But
I've
Some-
had a couple doozies.
Some
Yes,
of them
there's
don't
been
mesh well
doozies.
with each other,
Right.
but we
Right.
even try to incorporate different people's ideas of like, oh, that was your pitch, but what if we did use it in this expansion? What if this person's idea and yours can actually go together?
Yeah.
And I love that collaboration.
It's very similar to the way EQ does theirs. I mean, they do kind of the same process. They're a bit more serious about it. But yeah, so let's
Most
see.
of mine
ours.
get shot down
That's not true.
By me.
by Tim.
Is there a maximum number of people who can join the public quests?
There will be after this.
No. I mean, we on beta there were tons of people participating in the Sodden PQ, and because that was basically the only one available at on beta. So, and that one I had unlocked it. Originally, it was only going to be one version of Sodden up at a time because I was trying to avoid any possible exploits where you can just run multiple.
Don't give them ideas.
No, it's covered. It's 100% working. There's no
Right.
way around it. But that was causing a bit of
It was blocking people from getting in.
Yeah, it was blocking people from getting in. The zone was capped at the maximum number of players. So then we opened it up to multiple instances of the overland zones that they take place in, and I think that'll alleviate a lot of the issues that we experienced in the first week or two of beta.
Yeah, and
So
with multiple zones having PQs and stuff, it won't be like you have to go to this one
Right.
every time.
Yeah, I mean, the sodden one can be active at the same time as the blinding, and maybe there's a lot more people in the blinding, and you want to piggyback on them and help them out and complete that, and you can just ignore the sodden one at that time because it's the same PQ, just takes place in different overland
Attack
zones.
point.
Yeah, attack
Or
points.
incursion point.
Yeah.
Okay. Will there be a new expansion guide quest at launch? I need the 8-ball. Yes, there will be. Will solo players have gear they can buy with the expansion currency?
Yes, but within limit. Solo players won't be buying raid gear with the expansion currency. You will have some things that you purchase with the expansion gear currency that are gear related and just straight up gear. But you won't be buying into heroics without participating in heroics. Not with the expansion currency. Not without playing some of those.
Right. So
We
there's
want you to play
there's a
together.
progression as you would expect.
And trade skills, they've got some armor that they're creating as well that is useful.
Correct. All right. Can you make the giant eyeballs in the zone follow your movement?
Wait, which ones?
Most of them do.
Most of them do.
Oh, I think they're talking about the Zons of Oz.
might be
ones.
talking
Just
about the
roll
Zons of
around.
Oz.
Oh,
the
no.
problem is they're looking at everybody's movement.
They said
Yeah.
they said giant eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not those.
As opposed to the ones bigger than your torso?
Maybe they're looking out for something you haven't seen yet.
Okay. This question sounds a bit snippy. How about adjusting the loot to be dropped by percentage of classes that use it instead of percentage of types of armor?
Well, first off, there's not that much difference between types of armor and percentage of classes that use it. Leather wearers versus chain wearers versus cloth wearers and plate wearers. There's not that big of a difference. 6 people, I think, for chain, and or is it 7? And 4 for the cloth wearers is or 6 for the I guess I'm thinking archetypes instead of
Well,
things for that. But
something to mention would be that in raid drops, the armor is dropping in patterns this
Yes.
year. So,
Oh, yeah,
so
there
it
you
won't
go.
be like you get chain every drop. No, you'll get a leg pattern or you'll get an arm pattern or something like that, and it'll be a little bit more distributable.
Yeah.
Distributable.
But more importantly
Is that a word?
than just those raw numbers is also we have to make sure we're accounting for everybody. If you don't happen to have any cloth wearers in your guild, your cloth wearers, the cloth stuff's going to go. But there's going to be guilds that are heavier the other way. We can't you really shortchange one because it really does shortchange them. They have to have equal distribution of the gear because they aren't looking at their character as I am this percentage of gear. They're looking at it as I am one of the people playing the game,
Right.
and they want that equal shot at something. And so it gets a little convoluted, and it gets quite a bit messy if we really get too in the weeds with it.
The patterns is something we've been talking about. I think it's going to help a lot. in
Yeah,
the
I think so
for
too.
raid
I
gear.
think so too. The patterns are very, very welcomed.
All right.
Speaking as a raider myself.
Yeah. Let's see. What is your favorite thing you've worked on in the expansion? All answer. Should we all answer at once?
On top of each other.
No? Go back? I'm
Oh,
on
we
the
got
wrong
something else
page.
first. We'll get to that one.
I don't know what you're talking
Now
about.
you have time to think.
You might have to close
Oh,
it,
that's
reopen
easy.
it again.
Okay, good.
I'm not seeing
I've
it.
refreshed my page, and now I've got the document's having issues. Our questions are not updating quickly.
We can answer that one while it's all wonky.
There we go.
I'm not seeing it. What am I missing?
That
was the next
I've got
question
it.
on your-
Can you chat in Coalition or Guild chat? Can you switch between them? I'll actually have to remind myself on that because I haven't touched that immediately or super recently. But you can talk to both Coalition chat and Guild chat at the same time. You can see them at the same time.
good.
I just have to refresh myself on how we do that. Because I don't remember if it just is a different channel or if it is with a like a bull switch. So I'll take a look and make sure. But yes, you're supposed to be able to talk to both at the same time and distinctly see whether which is Coalition chat and which is Guild chat.
And you can also like change the colors of the chat, right? So that
Well, that's yeah, maybe.
so you know that your coalition is always orange and your guild is always green. I don't know.
Now,
I don't know if we did that.
I don't think we did that.
Okay. Oh dang! Future creep. All right. Are we gonna get ethereal weapons in this expansion? Did we have?
There are no
Ethereal
current
weapons?
ethereal weapons planned immediately.
There's gonna be
but
cool
If you, mean,
stuff.
if you mean items with effects on them, yes. If you mean actual ethereal tagged, that was more something that we used for.
Live event.
No, it was for the afterlife. The
Yeah.
plane of,
Oh right,
yeah.
exactly.
So
yeah, yeah.
ethereal is actually just a flag saying this thing is distinct. It's different. It's not a power tag. Ethereal can literally be anything. Something that is the same power as a handcrafted weapon could be flagged as ethereal. We try to do it as it's a special thing that you get from a special way to indicate that this is in maybe an out of progression item or an item that is rare and hard to get, but is not an actual power progression tier.
Right. Okay.
Oh, to go back to the coalition chat, there is a guild coalition chat option in the chat options, and then it's coalition say, and that'll allow you to speak in the specific coalition chat.
Okay.
Thank you for looking that up.
Let's see. With 80 levels of Untold Heroics, how is gear separated? Well, we kind of talked about that. The idea is it'll be released in tiers. Is that the right word?
groups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
gear tiers is what we kind of refer to it. So,
Right.
what is it? Tier? What are we launching with? Let's say we're launching with gear tier 3, for instance. That means from Untold Heroic 0 to 20, that will the up to tier 3 gear could be available in those Untolds. And then when the next tier releases in January, and we release Untolds 0 to 40, anything between 21 and 40 will you have a chance of obtaining tier 4 gear, and then it goes up from there.
right. That's how it's separated. Okay. Will the entrance to the expansion be only through the portal in Antonica?
Yes. Yes. Now, that's going to be your first time. You've got to go there anyway to get that story from Lady Najma.
To start the
And,
story.
and to start it. So that's not going to be a stumbling block for you. You need to get that. You cannot just pop right over to Jan Garoth through any means, not even the ports that you get in your house. You have to unlock that first.
Right.
But there
You
are ways
just
to
have to
get
do
there after.
this really small little thing. And then your alt characters, though, they get the freedom because now you've done it once, right? You've made that. You've seen the story unfold. So we're okay with your alts just jumping ahead. That's fine. But yeah, it's not going to be on the spires. It's not on the...
It's a different travel network.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Much like when we put in the Maldura tinkered gate. So much the same way. Yeah. So I do anticipate Antonica is going to get slammed with people.
On day one.
Yeah, that'll be fun to.
Everybody's
to
going to log
see.
out there.
Oh my gosh. Don't say it's going to crash, but that's what went through my mind. Yeah. So it is there to start with. That is the only place.
Right. Okay. Let's see. So now we're to the part. What is your favorite thing you've worked on in the expansion? And all answer at once. 1, 2. No, I'm kidding. All right. Does anybody
I'll
wanna-
start with I already mentioned it. The Untold Heroics was my favorite. Definitely my favorite. Still is because I'm still working on it.
My favorite thing has been a new mechanic that I made for raids that is like capture points. So players have to go to a certain area within the fight and close rifts or do something with players nearby that they have to do rather than just curing a curse or avoiding an AE or anything like that. No, there's actual new mechanics where the more people you get around this thing, the easier it is to collapse and those type things. And there's actually itemization effects that interact with it as well.
Okay, cool.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Anybody else want to say what your favorite thing you worked on this expansion is?
Coalitions.
I'm not going to say what mine is because it's a surprise.
No.
Well, so mine would be the threads that I do tie. That's way too vague because there's a lot of them, but that's always what gets me just like really happy of like, ooh, I found a good place for this. But specifically something that I can call out is being able to see some change, some progression in the bigger stories that we've got being told. And being able to actually surprise not only us, but also players as far as like what we're willing to do if we can do it, and so like I'm talking a little vague, a little around the situation, but at the end of the SIG line, like there is an obvious thing that could really affect Norath and the powers the powers that are down there that have been raging since we began. So that was exciting, fun, challenging, and a little intimidating, I'll say at the same time. So.
All right, cool. I think is that our last question?
No, one more.
Oh, I got to answer that one.
What's the
Oh,
last
Tim's
one?
still here?
Oh, go Tim.
Wow.
What?
My favorite thing, I've been asking Design to let me do this for years, and we finally got rid of Thundering Steps. No,
That's hilarious.
the middle of Zons of Oz, just because of how it became.
Yeah.
Story to tell for another time once you guys see more. But it was one of those, we're doubting it, and then it kind of
All filled
The
together.
11th
just became-
11th hour. it's
exactly,
just like-
and just a lot of talking back and forth late nights and trying ideas, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is cool, something different.
Right.
Will only get better with time. I'll say that.
All right, cool.
There is
Is that
one
it?
more question on there.
Just says, what is the favorite thing overall in the expansion?
What is
It's kind of
your
the same as the
favorite?
original
Yeah, it's
one.
kind of. I thought it was the same question twice, but I guess it's not.
One you worked on, and what's overall?
Overall,
What is your favorite thing overall?
Getting to define
I think collaborating with everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's corny, but it's true.
No, it's true.
The
It's
eyeballs,
absolutely
actually.
true.
My favorite thing in the expansion overall is all the eyeballs.
getting to define what the void is.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, the new Lamia are really really cool. So I mean that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah, that's actually so. Like every year when we do an expansion, we work really hard to come up with a bestiary. We try to make sure that when you're in a new zone or any zone, that there's something new there for you to see. Besides, obviously the geometry, but as far as population and stuff like that, our guy Dave Brown, he's an integral part of that. Helps us plan all that out and tell us what's stupid. But so we actually have a lot of not necessarily new creatures, but new creature models to see and new stuff to.
Based on things you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of it is based on things because.
A lot of it, I requested a lot of things that I thought they would just shoot down because of how ridiculous and
Those
dumb
are
it
the
is.
That's every year.
mutations within
Yeah, but
Zons
then
of Oz. Yeah.
when I never heard back from him, and then it's already like 2 months into
It's
the
because
expansion
he's
cycle.
crying.
and then I'm seeing the releases from Art, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, you made that? Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Like the goat, one of the Daru. I requested a headless Daru with we call them blood bags, the void bags, the they're basically floating hearts, but I requested a headless goat with one of those floating heart
As the
Void
head.
guys
cyst.
as its
Yeah.
head, and
Uh-huh.
they didn't bat an eye. They just made it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get used to that.
Yeah.
You've trolled them enough. They just now accept.
Right.
But there's a reason for requesting those kind of weird models because of the gazers and what they're creating in Zanzibars. But yeah, that was a nice surprise. I got almost everything I requested this year, which is I can't say it's a first, but
It's like-
I'm batting like
It's like having
900
a Christmas
this time.
list, right? It's like
Yeah.
having a Christmas list, and you got.
I think Tim's right. Like, lower the expectations for next year then.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, we're almost coming to the end of this very long live cast, and we're going to show off some stuff. So this stuff is available now on the store. So with our amazing key art. What's the name of the guy that does our
Karembe
kit?
it.
Yeah, Karem. We're going to have posters. So here's one of the posters that's going to blend into the background. These are really nice paper, by the way. It's thick
stuff.
It's thick
Thick stuff.
paper. The colors are crazy vibrant. I probably can't see them.
Every time he raises it, there is no candor.
Hold that. And then we also have desk mats. So we've got I don't know what this size is called, medium,
Medium is correct.
I think that's an
Medium.
adult cat size.
adult cat size. Yeah, it's like and then we have
Slightly larger cat.
another size up, slightly larger cat. Yeah, cool. And then my favorite, which I get all of these, and I use them as my mouse pads. Yes,
It's a giant.
is the
mouse.
Yeah,
giant
full
one.
desk
Yeah,
pad.
yeah, because it fits underneath your keyboard, right?
Yep.
So you have your keyboard and your mouse just on this, and you don't have to worry about flying off your mouse pad. So I love these things. Alrighty. Cool. That will conclude our Rage of Cthurath, EverQuest II Rage of Cthurath live stream,
One
live
more.
cast.
When's it going live?
Oh, when is it going live? Okay, so yeah, Rage of Cthurath will be going live on December 10th, so 12/10/25.
At 12.
Shooting for noon.
At noon. At noon, we're shooting for, right? Yes, unless something catastrophic happens.
What's
which-
that in Roman numerals?
I'm gonna hear this for the rest of my time here.
NOO.
No. N-O. Okay, cool. We want to thank everybody for checking out the live stream, and we especially want to thank you for playing EverQuest II.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you in the expansion
Bye.
With a lot of eyes.
with eyeballs.
We'll see